Ladies and gentlemen, we are live and we are here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we're rejoicing and we're glad in it. Happy Millionaire Monday. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. If you are coming on live on this beautiful Millionaire Monday, January the 30th, 2023, we 30 days into the new calendar year. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to hit that like button. I need you to hit that share button and tag Lolly Dolly everybody and let them know your boy, Ramon Preston, my squad. They're actually downstairs because we got 2 floors now. And the Ramon Preston Show, we're live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of the A, T, and the L. And this is the Millionaire Monday that the Lord has made. I'm rejoicing and I'm glad in it. Welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. Just in case you don't know, I'm your host, Ramon Preston, every Monday through Friday, 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time for the 3rd year straight. 2023 makes the 3rd year straight. We come here live to give you the game, to share information with you that we know you can use to help start, help structure, and at some point help scale any business, any ministry, any income stream, and any wealth building dreams. So just in case you didn't see the title of today's show, the title is Grant Cardone 10X Takeaways. So I'm gonna be talking about my rich Uncle G, the man, the GOAT, somebody who I admire and appreciate the contribution that he has made in my life, in the life of my staff, my company, my organization, my tribe, and to millions and millions of people around the world. But let me just kind of bring you up to why today I wanted to designate the show to give you some 10X takeaways. Daughter, can you get my notebook off the desk? I really want to just take a couple moments to, let me get her to get my notebook off the desk. Yeah, can you get my notebook off the desk? Yeah, I need my notebook off the desk. So the reason why I want, you'll see my 10X notebook, the workbook that I just brought in. The reason why I wanted to really designate and pretty much dedicate today to my rich Uncle G is because of a few things. Number one, I want the attention. I've been a part of his community for what, 3-4 years, and I want the attention. I very rarely highlight him and his staff as much as I should. So number one, I want the attention. Number two, I want to bring attention to how important and how powerful it is to put yourself in proximity to people who are so far ahead of you that they pull you into your potential. Because see, we all have potential, but we don't always put ourselves in proximity to people who can pull us to that potential. And so this is the second reason why I want to highlight Uncle G, Grant Cardone, because last week he hosted a unbreakable challenge. I actually got a few images up here that I pulled from my phone, but this is Uncle G right here. He hosted last week 5 days of an unbreakable business challenge. It was live. It was on pretty much every streaming platform that you can find. And during this unbreakable challenge, he was talking about mindset. He was talking about marketing. He was talking about communication. He was talking about sales, and he was talking about scaling. Well, I was already scheduled to be in Miami at his headquarters for 2 days for a 10X workshop that was going to be centered around leadership and scaling. That was being taught by his business partner, Mr. BD himself, Brandon Dawson. So for one, let me just stop real quick and say I'm highlighting and bringing attention to these two gentlemen. Number one, because I want the attention myself. I've been around him long enough to get the attention because I've learned so much. And if you watch a lot of what I do, and if you're familiar with him, you will see, wow, he's really mimicking and modeling after his mentor, which is what they teach. They teach you to mimic and for you to model after them so that you could become a master at what they have mastered. And so all last week he was teaching this Unbreakable Business Challenge, which was absolutely amazing. But then I had a couple days to spend with his business partner, who this was my second time going to this particular 2-day event, and it was spectacular. And so I've got my workbook in front of me. I can't give you all the game, because if you want all the game, you actually got to go and get the game yourself, because nobody can go down there and take the information that they share and really teach it the way they teach it. You just can't. You know, every time I go, and I've been to so many of their events, but every time I go to any one of his events, whether it's a workshop, a summit, a boot camp, whatever it is, I learn so much, and I just get so overwhelmed because of the information and the data, and it never gets old. And again, I've circled back around to a lot of his workshops and events twice, and I still leave with a whole new set of information. Okay, so like literally this past workshop that I went to, that Uncle G, of course, hosts, and his business partner was teaching, this was my second time going, and I got a whole new set of takeaways. So I want to share a few of these takeaways with you, which, by the way, if you are familiar with Grant Cardone and or Brandon Dawson, one of his business partners, I want you to put in the comments hashtag Grant Cardone. I want you to give him a hashtag shout out, okay? So if you're familiar with Uncle G, I call him my rich uncle, he Uncle G. I want you to put in the comments hashtag Grant Cardone. If you're not familiar with him, you need to Google him. I mean, it's surprising to think that you are in business or you are on the internet and you are like entertaining the idea of getting money and getting rich and really being successful in business, and you hadn't run across him. But again, I'm gonna assume you don't know him. So what I want you to do, if you do know him, is I want you to put in the comments hashtag Grant Cardone, hashtag Grant Cardone. This is who I consider to be my business mentor, coach, and he's inspiration to me. I want my life, and I want my business, and I want what I do with my staff to look like what his is, because every time I go down to his headquarters, I probably have 400 or 500 pictures in my phone that I could just show you a reel of. And these pictures are with his staff. These pictures are with a lot of attendees that I've met. As a matter of fact, the first takeaway that I'm giving you today, it came from a buddy of mine that I was sitting beside. I mean, they're pretty much family. When I walk in there, I know people by name. People know me by name because I go there so much. And, you know, I got that personality where I want to meet everybody. I feel like I'm one of the fam, so I ain't going to be no stranger. I want to get to know people, and I want to have a relationship with people. But my first takeaway that I want to share with you today from this Grant Cardone 10X event that I just went to in Miami, the takeaway actually came from my buddy that I was sitting beside. Young man, powerful, successful. He just sold his company for like 90-something million dollars, walked away with 20-something million, and we was just chopping it up, sharing, you know, wisdom and advice with each other. And it just astonished me, because I'm sitting there actually in the middle of two multimillionaires, and we're just conversing and doing exercises and interacting with each other like we do with everybody in there. And I'm thinking to myself, man, I want everybody that I know to be in proximity to people who are this successful. So let me ask you this question, which, by the way, if you put hashtag Grant Cardone in the comments, thank you. Thank you for supporting me, because when you support the people that I support, you're supporting me. And you're really supporting yourself, because I love this man. I love everything that he does. I don't care what people think about him, no different than I care about what people think about me. And the truth is, you want people to criticize you. You want people to feel some kind of way about you, but it is what it is. So back to my point. If you put hashtag Grant Cardone in the comments because you know him or you've heard of him, you've seen him on social media, thank you. If you don't know him, if you haven't heard of him, I want you to Google him, because if you follow me and watch me, and if you see what I am doing, like, you're literally watching history in the making. You're watching me become a deca millionaire. You're watching me at some point become a billionaire. That's what my ultimate goal is. But you're watching me right where I'm at. And if you knew where I was just 4 or 5 years ago, you'll be like, wow, what changed? Well, one of the things that changed is I put my money where my mouth was, because I was talking about, I want to be a millionaire. I was talking about, I'm going to be the next millionaire mogul. I was talking about, I've got this idea for a millionaire blueprint. I was saying this 4 or 5 years ago. But I didn't put my money where my mouth was. In other words, I wasn't really spending tens of thousands of dollars on coaching and mentoring and education and traveling and events and networking. I wasn't really doing that. I wasn't doing that 4 or 5 years ago, because I think one of the reasons why I wasn't doing it is because I had a little ego and I kind of felt like I could figure it out. But you got to think, my wife and I, we've been married for 20 years this year. And when we got married, we went into full-time entrepreneurship as well as full-time ministry. My wife and I, we committed our lives to do business and to do ministry. And at the time, we thought we was committed to doing it at the highest level, but our highest level wasn't the highest level of other people. But because we didn't put ourselves in proximity to other people who had already accomplished probably hundreds of times more than what we accomplished, I'm not going to say it destroyed us, but it definitely slowed our process and our progress down. So it really wasn't until about 4 or 5 years ago that I started dialing in on why I wasn't as successful as I should have been. And again, by that time, 4 or 5 years ago, me and my wife, we making 6 figures. Me and my wife, we living in a nice house. We driving foreign cars. You know, we doing the doggone thing, but we wasn't financially free. We wasn't at least consumer debt free. And we did not have a 7-figure organizational enterprise that has the potential, like it does this year, to become an 8-figure organizational enterprise, because we put ourselves in proximity to people like a billionaire. So somebody who's already killed the brick, who's already got a brick, multiple bricks, and who's given us the game and showing us how to do it. So if you are at a place in your life where you know you got potential, you know you should be further along, you know you should be making more money, you know you should be experiencing life on a different level, you should be doing what I do. You should be traveling every 6 to 8 weeks to Miami or to Vegas or to wherever you're going, like my wife and I do. You should be hiring people like I'm hiring people. You should be moving into new locations. Like I just moved into this new location. That's why, you know, my studio is kind of iffy right now. But guess what? You can see me, you can hear me, and it is what it is. But you should be doing these same things. But it's going to require you to put your money where your mouth is. It's simple as that. I was a little skeptical about a lot of this stuff, especially the internet guru stuff, because early on in my entrepreneurial journey, we're talking about like 15, 20 years ago, you know, I had been to a couple free seminars. We didn't have, you know, smartphones 15, 20 years ago like we do now. We didn't have the internet the way we do now. We didn't have access to a lot of data and coaches and, you know, internet experts like we do now. So it was a little different back then, but I had been to some seminars and had, you know, participated in some events and maybe purchased, you know, whatever packages that they had. You know, back then you would get CD-ROMs and 3-ring binders. I remember leaving 2 or 3 events with 5 or 10 3-ring binders, all wrapped up in plastic, waiting to go home to listen to the CD-ROMs or cassette tapes or whatever. I've been through that, but I really didn't get the results that I thought I was going to get, because at the time I was still limited in my understanding that just because somebody gives you information doesn't mean that information is going to translate into execution. Okay, so information is the beginning, but execution is when you take that information, you put yourself in proximity to people who are executing that information at the highest level, and they literally force you and fuel you and feed you to start activating what they have already executed. And once it gets activated and executed, you start seeing the results. I hope I'm making sense. If I'm making sense, I want you to put in the comments right now, #millionaire, #millionaire. Now I know you might be like me, you want to be a billionaire, but just put millionaire, because if you ain't at least $1 million right now, if you're not generating $1 million, if you don't have $1 million, if you ain't worth $1 million, we got to get you at least to the M. We got to get you to the 1%. We got to get you in a position where you can at least see the reality of the potential. You got to see the reality of the potential. So put in the comments, #millionaire. So just in case my Uncle G, Brandon, or anybody that's a part of the 10X team sees this video, I've already said it at the introduction. Number one, I'm showing Uncle G. I got his name in my headline because I want to get some attention and get a little credit for the fact that I've been a part of our community as long as I have, and I love my family, I love my community, I love my tribe, and I've taken everything that I've learned and I continue to learn, and I bring it back to my family, I bring it back to my staff, I bring it back to my tribe. So that's number one. Number two, I wanted to highlight and to bring attention to the fact that Grant Cardone, Brandon Dawson, and the whole 10X team has just changed my life, and like it has for the past couple years. And I'm just so grateful, especially after our 5-day Unbreakable challenge we had last week, and then for me to end the challenge in Miami at a workshop with Brandon Dawson. It was just life-changing and amazing, and that was my second time going. So here are some takeaways that I want to share with you from my recent 10X event in Miami. The first takeaway, I want you to get this, is don't be afraid to do, be afraid not to do. This is powerful. And as I said, this takeaway I actually got from my millionaire buddy. This is what he was telling me during one of our breaks when we were interacting. Don't be afraid to do, be afraid not to do. Think about that. So when I think about not being afraid to do, okay, but being afraid not to do, here's what I wrote down, and I want you to understand it from this perspective. Execution without apprehension. So again, my takeaway, number one, okay, is don't be afraid to do, be afraid not to do. So in other words, you have to have a level of execution without apprehension. And so in this leadership essentials workshop, because that's what this particular workshop is called. I've been to so many of them, but this particular one is called our leadership essentials workshop. And in this particular workshop, we're taught a lot about being leaders and moving the lids and the limitations and the broken beliefs that we have as individuals, so that if we can be fixed, it's easier for our teams to be fixed and for all of us to be successful. Because whatever my limitations are, whatever my broken beliefs are, it's going to start seeping out into my team, my family, my tribe, my community, my world, and it's going to subsequently affect negatively my life. And so being afraid to do is the thing that keeps you from becoming a millionaire. Being afraid to do. So don't be afraid to do, be afraid not to do. And so I had to really come to terms with this broken belief this past weekend, because as much as I have accomplished in my life, there is so much more that I could have accomplished, but I'm afraid to do when I should be afraid not to do. And in order for me to not be afraid to do, I have to be willing to, as I just wrote here, execute without apprehension. So you might have some apprehensions right now. You want to execute, meaning that there's some things that you want to do with your business. There's some things that you want to do with your education. Maybe you, like I was 4 or 5 years ago, you want to start connecting with people like my rich uncle right here, Uncle G, Grant Cardone, his business partner, Brandon, and be a part of a 10X community. Maybe you want to be a part of our next level community, our tribe, and the group of people that we have brought together, that we're building amazing relationships, amazing businesses, and solid financial lives. But you are apprehensive. Why are you apprehensive? Because you are afraid to do when you should be afraid not to do. So again, as many risks that I take, as many things that I execute on and that I move on, because I am a doer, but there are some things I do find myself apprehensive about that slow my process and my progress down. So that's my first takeaway from my 10X event. And I really want you to dial in on what are the things you are apprehensive about today that you should have done 30 days ago. I'm asking you that question. Like, what are some things you should have done at the beginning of this year? Is it you should have hired a coach? Is it you should have started our Millionaire Blueprint program? Is it that you're watching me on social media and you have come across my mentorship program, but you still apprehensive because you still trying to get past this broken belief that people on the internet are scams and you can't trust people when it might be you just don't trust yourself? Because again, I went through that. I bought courses. I've been to seminars and events and hotels where they give you this 1.5 hour spiel, and then at the end you walk to the back of the room, you pay $1,000 or whatever the price is, you take home 3-ring binders and CD-ROMs. That's how it was for me back in the days. Now it's different. You just sign up and you have access to digital platforms like Ramon Preston University. But you start learning this stuff, but you never really execute it. Because when you get ready to execute it, you become apprehensive because you realize it's going to take more than just your knowledge to execute. It's actually going to take support. It's going to take accountability. It's going to take daily consistent pulls and pushes from people who have already executed on the things that you're apprehensive about. So I really would like to challenge you on this first takeaway to let go of the apprehension. Let go of the apprehension and just focus on the execution. Stop having to figure everything out and make sense about everything that don't make sense. Because if it's a decision you need to make today, that's going to make your financial life better, that's going to make your business better, that's going to make your family better, that's going to make your marriage better, that's going to give your children a better life. If these are decisions that you need to make, right? But you've never made them before, you can't make sense of them. Why not? Because you've never made them before. So I've taken a bath before, I've brushed my teeth before, I've put on shoes before, right? So I can make sense of these things when I don't have shoes on and I need to put them on. when I don't brush my teeth and I need to, when I'm putting on clothes, because these are things that I've done before. But I can't make sense of doing something I ain't never did before. I can't make sense of putting on some type of shoes that give me the capability to slide across the street because I've never put those kind of shoes on before. Are you understand what I'm saying? Execution without apprehension. All right, that's takeaway number one. Let me give you another takeaway from my rich Uncle G and his road dog, Brandon Dawson. Takeaway number two, businesses don't move people, people move businesses. Businesses don't move people, people move businesses. This was such an amazing takeaway, but it was an amazing lesson that I learned just this past week, because even Grant, in the Unbreakable Business Challenge last week, he was really talking about how important people are. In his words, people got everything you want. Think about it. People got everything you want. And Brandon said something yesterday that I think I made it another takeaway. Brandon said, if you are a business owner and you're the only one in the business, you're a one-person business owner, you don't know what you're doing. Think about that. He said, if you are a business owner and it's only you don't have no staff. I ain't talking about your wife or your husband or your son or your friend that just comes in a couple hours to help you just to fill in some blank spots for you. I'm talking about if you don't have people that you have on salary, payroll, staff, if it's just one of you in your business. Brandon Dawson said, you don't know what you're doing. His point is out of the 25 million businesses in the United States of America alone that only have one employee, most of these people have no idea, if not all of them have no idea what they're doing. But most of them are failing. They ain't making no money. They're not even breaking even. They're losing money on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis. But what is some of the reason why that many millions of businesses only have one person? Well, I've learned this in the last couple of years, because remember when I started, when I first got introduced to Grant Cardone, it was just me. It was really just me. It was me. Like, my wife wasn't even really working with me full time because I couldn't afford to pay her. And she had already told me, listen, bro, you got to figure this thing out before you think I'm going to come in here and be your COO and have all these positions and designations, but you ain't got no money. I mean, of course, she said it to me respectfully. My wife supports me, but my wife was like, I got to make things happen while you're trying to figure this stuff out. I can't just be sitting back, supporting you and encouraging you and loving on you and working for you, but you really don't have a business because you haven't figured out how to sell products and services, how to monetize the things that you know, how to keep that momentum going, and then how to start building your systems and processes. Like, all this stuff I didn't understand. I knew a little bit, but I didn't know enough to really put it together. Okay, so that was like 4 or 5 years ago when I first got introduced to Uncle G. All right, so we're talking about 4 or 5 years later. It took me about maybe 2 years to really lean in, plug in with him in terms of, okay, I'm gonna pay thousands of dollars to be in your mentorship program, your coaching program, to come to your events, to be in your community. I'm gonna pay. And actually, the first time that I joined his mentorship program, I paid it all in full because I just wanted to be committed. So it was like 5 figures I had to drop, but it made me feel good because I knew, okay, I gotta make this work. And my wife was like, all right, you pushing that much money off one transaction, you better come back from Miami with something. You better show some change. And guess what happened? It changed. My business just changed like within the first 30 days. That was actually one of my testimonies I gave. So back to my second takeaway. Businesses don't move people, people move businesses. So of course, the first people that we need represented here in this takeaway is you. Okay, you are the first of the people. Okay, so who are the people? If businesses don't move people and people move businesses, I'm just giving you my synopsis and assessment of this. The first person that represents people is you. And maybe before you hire people, maybe before you get a virtual assistant or bring somebody on and you really don't know what you're doing because you don't have things together the right way because you don't understand the details of what you're doing, maybe the next person who needs to make up people is your mentor. Because see, that's what I did. I got to a point where I was like, listen, making $100,000 to $200,000 a year is not enough for me. And once I hit that point and I realized, okay, this is as far as I can go. I can't do no more than maybe $100,000 or $200,000 a year. I just keep going back and forth, back and forth. 1 year is 98, the next year is 120, the next year is 115, the next year is 144, the next year is 108, the next year is 160. I was like, I'm sick of this. I need a breakthrough. And my biggest breakthrough was realizing that people had everything I needed. But I needed to get this person out of the way, bring this person in my life, and it opened me up to all of the endless possibilities that people were able to help provide for me, whether it was through networking, whether it was through accountability, whether it was through making deals and acquiring clients. It was a game changer for me. Okay, so that's my second takeaway. Here's my third takeaway. This is going to be my last one for the day because I don't want to overwhelm you with information, but I would love to hear some feedback from you. And I'm challenging you today. If you're watching this and you're participating mentally in what I'm saying, I want you to engage by putting something in the comments to let me know what you feeling right now. Do you feel excited about your possibilities? Do you feel like you can make something happen? Do you feel like there's an opportunity for you that you need to seize? And also I want to ask, do you have a mentor? Don't tell me you got a mentor and you ain't paying that. I don't want to hear that. Don't tell me you got a mentor and you're not paying, because who are you going to be mentoring and they're not paying you? I love what my Uncle G says. This is another one of his, sayings. He says, when people don't pay, they don't pay attention. See, this is one of the reasons why when I first connected with him by paying to be a part of his programs and community, and I realized that this program he had put together, it was an amazing program. It was going to cost me tens of thousands of dollars, but I wanted to pay it up front because I wanted to make sure I paid attention, because I knew, okay, for the next year or two, I'm going to have to go to all of these events. I'm going to have to travel. I'm going to have to pay $1,000 for hotels. I'm going to have to pay $1,000 for rental cars, food, plane tickets. But guess what? I was already paying attention because I paid. Do you understand what I'm saying? See, it's hard for you to pay attention when you ain't paying nothing. And this is kind of like a principle we used to talk about in church. So he says, I'm not going to pay attention if I don't pay. So I want to challenge you. If you do not have a mentor, you need to reach out to me today. You need to stop being apprehensive and become more in tune with execution, because a lack of execution breeds apprehension. And that's probably why 30 days into this new year, you might be feeling like, man, I ain't even nowhere near my targets. I had a New Year's resolution. I set some goals. I got excited for a couple days the first week of January, and now I'm gassed out. I don't have motivation. I'm depressed. I'm confused. I'm just ready to give up. Don't give up. What you need to do is give up you. your role in this apprehension. Give that up. And the way you give that up is you move your ego out the way and you lean in and say, you know what? I got to be around somebody who's motivated. I've gotten some great, like, heartfelt, like compliments this week. Like just this past week, I've gotten some of the like greatest and heartfelt compliments from people who are being coached by me. We've got people who are being coached. We've got people who we're consulting. We've got clients. We've got licensees. And like several of these people just within the last week or so have reached out to me, whether personally or whether through inboxes, DMs, or just social media posts, and have just expressed their gratitude to me because they're able to watch me and see what I'm doing. This is why I brought up my rich uncle, my mentor. I'm proud to say I have a billionaire who has a multi-billion-dollar organizational enterprise. He is one of the most transparent people on the planet, one of the most loving people on the planet. He has one of the most amazing minds as a partner and as a forerunner with him in Brandon Dawson. And these guys are just like so free. Like literally, y'all, I wish like last week this man here stood on this same stage right here for free for 5 days straight. For free, y'all, and just gave game. And I'm talking about billions and billions of dollars worth of game. It was so good. I watched the live every day last week, except Friday and Saturday because I was in my workshop in Miami at his headquarters. But I went back and watched the replay every day. But just yesterday with Brandon, we was with him for 2 days. And he actually mentioned us Saturday when he was doing his presentation during the Breakthrough Unbreakable Challenge. But I'm bringing that up because people are watching you. And you're not going to influence people when you're not demonstrating you're being influenced by people. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you want to influence people, if you want to make an impression on people, you need to be able to do this. See, I can put his name on my headline. I can put his picture on my Google board because I'm mimicking and modeling after my mentor. I pay to be at his headquarters as much as I do. I pay to get coached by him and to be on calls every week. I pay to play like I have for the past few years. And we have the opportunity to gain confidence because of who we are connected to. Okay, so here's my third takeaway. And after this takeaway, I don't want you to be apprehensive. I want you to reach out to me today because I have an amazing offer. I have a mentorship program. It's a 1-year millionaire mentorship program. And this 1-year program will literally provide for you the education, the coaching, and the consulting that you need to properly start and structure your business and your income streams. I literally have a 1-year mentorship program. It's called the Millionaire Mentorship Program, and you can get access to it today and literally join me tonight for my weekly live coaching call. Every Monday, we have what we call Millionaire Mondays coaching calls. So every Monday evening, 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I host a weekly coaching call, and I want you on that call with me tonight. As a matter of fact, I want to bring you up. I don't want to embarrass you. You don't have to get nervous, but I want to at least see your name on the call and say, hey, ladies and gentlemen, here's who we have here. And this person watched the live. They got the takeaways, they got inspired, and they made the decision to execute and not be apprehensive. They decided to use execution and let go of apprehension. They decided to accept the fact that businesses don't move people. people move their business and they want their business to be moved. I want you to be that person, okay? I really want you to reach out to me. I want to get you enrolled in our Millionaire Mentorship Program. I want to get you onboarded in our program. I'm giving you access to my entire Millionaire Blueprint, my online training program that teaches you how to start and structure holding companies. It teaches you how to build your systems and processes out, like your sales and marketing and your financials and your operations. It teaches you goal setting and scheduling. It teaches you financial literacy. We have courses in that Millionaire Blueprint to show you how to implement some of the most sophisticated creative tax strategies, how to increase your income by 30% within 30 days. We show you the ins and outs of running a legitimate company from scratch. We literally show you from scratch, all the way from obtaining an EIN, getting your LLC. We have documents like articles of organization. We have templates for your operating agreements. We have sample agreements that you may need if you are a coach and a consultant. As a matter of fact, in my mentorship program, I give you free access to my course and a boot camp for coaches. So I show you how to put a coaching business together. I have literally started 3 separate divisions, and I'm not capping, I'm not like exaggerating. I've started 3 separate divisions in my company just within the last 2.5, almost 3 years, okay? Since 2020, it's not even been 3 years. It's been a little over two years. I've started 3 separate divisions, all of which have made over $100,000. So I know what it is and what it takes to start a 6-figure educational business, a 6-figure consulting business, and a 6-figure coaching business, because I've done all 3 just within the last 2 years, and they've all made more than $100,000. They're all 6-figure divisions, and that doesn't even include other divisions that my wife and I have under the umbrella of our organizational enterprise. All right, so I hope you're ready. You should be like pumped up, saying, you know what, Ramon, say no more, bruh. Say less. Say less. Give me the information so I can reach out to you. My team is downstairs waiting for you. All you need to do is text the word millionaire to 404-478-7213. Text the word millionaire. Text the word millionaire. Why do I want you to text the word millionaire? Somebody asked me that a couple weeks ago. Why do you want people to text the word millionaire? I want you to become one. This is why I have a Millionaire Blueprint. My educational program is called the Millionaire Blueprint. My coaching program is called the Millionaire Mentorship Program, because my minimum for you is to make you a millionaire. That's what I want to do. So I want you to text the word millionaire. You can text this while you're watching me right now. Maybe you have to jump out. You good?
Yes.
Maybe you have to jump out. Oh, they came in? Mm-hmm. Maybe you have to jump out. We still got stuff coming in. Like, we just relocated our headquarters and moved into a facility, 2 floors, that can probably house about 20 staff members. And so my goal is for us to have about 20 people here as we move towards becoming a $10 million company. That's what my goal is this year. We've got targets and we're moving towards it. So we got, you know, freight trucks and freight trucks or whatever, and, you know, delivery trucks coming off and on every day. I want you to text millionaire to 404-478-7213. Okay, what's the number?
678.
Oh, I'm sorry. We got new numbers. What's the number? 678 276.
What's the rest? I got the last one. The last one. 8293.
8293.
53.
53?
8253.
53. My apologies. Y'all see, I've been gone for a couple days. Brain dumping in Miami. We got new numbers. We got a new system here. Like all of our stuff is being updated. And this is a part of me showing you as an example, what does it look like when you have $1 million company that you're moving to 10 million? Okay. So I'm just showing you, this is what it takes. And I'm still learning a lot of the ins and outs. But again, I've got this. I've got this here. I've got this guy here and his team. I've got this guy. He's a part of his team. I've got their courses. I've got their mentorship. I can't even begin to tell you how life-changing it is. But guess what? I'm giving you the game because you might not be at 7 figures. You might not be at 500,000. You may just be trying to figure out, how do I get to 100K? There is no reason why the information I share with you, the mentorship that I provide for you, there's no reason why it can't get you to 100,000 because I've done it multiple times. There is no reason why, period. That's literally $8,500 a month. That's literally $8,500 a month. You could probably make that in the first 30 days if you listen to what I'm saying and stay in proximity to what I'm giving you on a day-to-day basis. So text the word millionaire to 678-276-8253. 678-276-8253. If for some reason you have an issue, is that number correct?
Yes, it's correct.
Where's that number from? Where'd that number come from? Where did that number come from?
That's the number that
That's your direct number?
Yes.
Oh, okay. 678-276-8253.
Yes. You have comments as well.
I've got comments as well. Okay. I see Melissa Diaz. I'm checking out the comments. Y'all, I'm so excited. I'm running my mouth. I'm having such an amazing Millionaire Monday so far. I forgot to look at the comments. Melissa Diaz, thank you for being on the show. Please make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube page, Melissa, and follow me on all the other platforms at Ramon Preston. Melissa is replying to LaWanda Brown. Okay, let's see here. Victoria, Black Ice, always excited but can't connect the dots. Victoria, I'm excited. I know that I am in a great position as being a virtual assistant and establishing my own brand. I do have a mentor, Bishop Real Talk. Oh, Bishop Kim, that's my sister. Like, that's my covenant sister. Like, that's my real blood sister. So you got the best mentor. But thank you. I appreciate you. Black House, he says, wow, this sounds spiritual because you saying eliminating yourself in the equation feels like when God says you need to submit and having certain flesh-oriented desires die on a daily basis. This is dope. Appreciate you, Black Ice. Yeah, we live, baby. This is what we do here. Let me give y'all my last takeaway, okay? Let me give you my last takeaway. My last takeaway. Takeaway number 3. I got so many. I'm only giving you a couple. Takeaway number 3. Brandon Dawson said, this was so powerful. This was so powerful. He said, it takes resilience. He said, it takes resilience. This is the word that he used. He said, it takes resilience to build any successful business. He was talking about $100 million businesses. Like, this dude literally got on a whiteboard like this. I got pictures I can't show you because this IP that he owns, but this guy literally got on a whiteboard and within like 8 minutes engineered the exact formula to build at minimum $100 million business. And we're all in there like, did we really just get that? Did we really just see that? I mean, it felt like we were in a matrix. I'm telling y'all, you got to surround yourself with people who have this thing here because it takes resilience. But here is what I love that he said. He said, even though it takes resilience to build a $100 million business or any successful business, he said resilience requires targets. He says, and targets essentially require data. So what that means is, if you are resilient because you know you can crush it in 2023, you are not going to be a victim of this post-pandemic recession. You just know you're going to become a millionaire. You're going to be successful. You're going to crush it at the highest level. That means you got resilience. But your resilience requires targets. That means you've got to do the math. You've got to know exactly where you want to go, quantify that with math, with numbers, with metrics, and you're going to have to back that with data. Because if your numbers are off, this is something so big that I learned from Brandon Dawson. If your data is off, your targets are going to be off, and your resilience is going to be off. And so again, I want to challenge you, if you are not a part of our Millionaire Mentorship Program, you don't have access to our Millionaire Blueprint so that you can get educated about building a $1 million business, having a financial life that reflects that of a millionaire. You need that blueprint. You need that data, especially when you know you're missing the data. You're missing the information. You're bottlenecked. You feel like you're capped. Or in the words of Brandon, as he talks about John Maxwell, you have a lid, not just in your beliefs, but maybe just in your behavior. Then you're going to have to pivot out of that. You're going to have to relinquish the power you're exercising in your ego to stay stuck and let go of that and say, you know what? I want success. I want to start moving to freedom. I want to start moving to productivity. But it's going to take information. It's going to take accountability. It's going to take mentorship. It's going to take execution at the highest level without apprehension. So I would love to have an opportunity to speak with you, to share more information with you. I know this program can push you. And I want you to join me tonight for my weekly coaching call at 7:00 p.m. Eastern. I want you to take me up on that, okay? So here, text the word millionaire to 678-276-8253. You should be screenshotting that if you didn't write it down. So I appreciate you all. Today is Monday, Millionaire Monday, January the 30th, and we've only got one more day remaining. I'll be back here tomorrow, 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time, but I want you to join me tonight at 7:00 p.m. Eastern for my Millionaire Monday coaching call. This is only one of several components that we provide in our 1-year Millionaire Mentorship Program. Okay, Michelle, thank you, Michelle. Michelle said, I definitely did screenshot it. So again, I want you to think about the value of a mentorship, the value of a coach, the value of a community, the value of getting real data, real education, real training, real support, and a real community that's going to push you to real results. All right. So we have a Millionaire Mentorship Program. Again, it's a 1-year program. We give you access to our Millionaire Blueprint. It's a 1-year online training program, teaches you all the ins and outs of financial literacy, entrepreneurship, business ownership, and investing, and pretty much everything in between: goal setting, scheduling, sales, marketing, operations, financials. We give you access to all of our weekly coaching calls. So every Monday for a whole year, you could join me on a live call. You can ask any question you want to ask, get answers on a week-to-week basis while you are studying and educating yourself and training every day on our Millionaire Blueprint. We give you access to our workshops. We host quarterly workshops on sales and marketing and financials and operations and holding companies. We teach you these principles that you are learning in the Millionaire Blueprint, but we get into the nuts and bolts to show you how to use it to build your own business infrastructure. We're also giving our mentees, for everyone who joins our mentorship program, we're giving you access to 2 other courses and one-day events that go with those courses. So one course is called our Business Incubator, and we train you on systems and processes, like having an operational system, how to build out your team roles and responsibilities. We have a one-day event called the Business Incubator where we do a one-day deep dive to help you with the structure phase of your business. How do you integrate these systems and processes to your business? How do you integrate QuickBooks into your business to make it work, especially if you want to lower your taxes and maximize your profits? How do you integrate an operational system to track certain data for your administration, for your activities, for your team members? How do you integrate a sales and marketing system like a CRM to track what your activity on social media is producing and how you're bringing your leads back into your funnel or pipeline and how you're processing them to convert them into clients? We also have another course in one-day boot camp for coaches that we give all of our mentees. So if you're in the coaching business or you want to be an educator or an influencer or a trainer, I literally give you a blueprint in our coaching boot camp course and one-day event. I give you a blueprint, literally a blueprint on how to build a six-figure coaching business. I've done it 3 times. So I know how to do it. I know how to do it. I know exactly how to do it, and I want to show that to you. So all you need to do is reach out to me today. Text Millionaire to 678-276-8253, and let's talk. We'll share more information with you. We'll answer any questions you may have, and we can get you signed up, enrolled, onboarded within a few minutes, and you could be joining me tonight. Oh, did I mention? We have the best prices on our coaching program that you're going to find on the internet. I guarantee you ain't going to find no better prices than the ones we have. So appreciate you all. Thank you, LaWanda. LaWanda said, thank you for being so informative and inspirational. This is strengthening my mindset as a business owner and becoming a millionaire. That's amazing. Well, listen, I want to help you in that process. I don't want you to drag that process out. I don't want you to slow it down. We have strategies, solutions, we have information, we've got training, we've got the blueprint to show you how to accelerate that so you can start seeing the money come in and the success and the staff and the growth and expansion and the freedom. And with that is going to bring a whole lot of amazing experiences. So look forward to speaking with you soon. Love all of you. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining the show. I'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here on the Ramon Preston Show.